Okay. So just to recap really quickly what we've been going over, the whole big mess, meeting our physiological needs. It's just a study for improved health and physical well-being. We've been covering Maslow's hierarchy of needs, which is a study of human motivation. And he suggests that individuals have different levels of needs, ranging from basic physiological needs like food and water to higher level needs like self actualization, and that these needs must be met in a specific order to achieve personal growth and fulfillment. I do agree with him in some of in some of his theory. And then I kind of feel like, well, I found myself here in self actualization, but I'm also still finding myself working on some of my basic needs. So, yes, but there is some flexibility to that. Last week, we talked about health and nutrition and hydration. And this week, we are going to be talking about sleep and shelter. Sleep and shelter and the effects of uh, these basic needs and how meeting our basic needs affects the different areas of our lives, how sleep and shelter, what the importance of getting enough sleep and having a comfortable living environment is, and how that plays into our health. And we'll provide some tips and resources and reflections and exercises. So, why is meeting our basic needs so important? So, physiological needs are fundamental, first and foremost, because these are the needs that um, are most basic and essential for human survival. Without satisfying these needs, it would be impossible to move up the hierarchy to fulfill higher level needs. These needs are also universal. Every human being requires food, water, and shelter to survive, regardless of their cultural or social background. This commonality helps to create a shared understanding and sense of empathy among people. So, this is why, whether you go to Africa or whether you're in the United States, these needs are completely universal. They're met differently, I will say. Um, as I've been out to Africa and seen different living situations, they are met differently. However, they are universal and they are fundamental. These needs can be a source of motivation. When physiological needs are unfulfilled, individuals may become highly motivated to seek out ways to satisfy them. Hunger, for example, can motivate individuals to search for food or to cook. Physiological needs can affect other areas of our life. When our basic needs are not met, it can impact our ability to focus, learn, and perform tasks. For example, someone who is sleep deprived may struggle with concentration and memory. The satisfaction of physiological needs can provide a sense of security. Once physiological needs are met, individuals can feel secure and stable in their environment. And then they can focus on fulfilling other needs such as safety and belongingness, and they can continue to move up that pyramid. So not meeting our physiological needs can have a significant impact on our lives. And one, in our health, there are health consequences. When we cannot meet our basic needs for food, water, and shelter, we may experience physical and mental health problems. Malnutrition, dehydration, exposure to elements, and lack of sleep can have can all have negative consequences for health and well-being. Emotional and psychological consequences. So, excuse me, people cannot meet their basic needs. They may feel a sense of hopelessness, despair, and helplessness. This can lead to depression, anxiety, and other emotional and psychological problems. We see this a lot. We've seen this a lot even since COVID. We've seen such a rise in emotional and psychological issues, especially with teenagers, young adults, not knowing how to cope, feeling lonely. Um, Actually, it's right across the board, I would say. Social consequences. When we can't meet our basic needs, we may become isolated from others or lose our social connections, which leads to loneliness and social exclusion. I know when I get down in the dumps, or if I'm stressed out about money or anything like that, I know sometimes I can definitely seclude myself. Economic consequences. So when we can't meet our basic needs, we may struggle to find employment or maintain our current job. So this can lead to financial instability or poverty. I think, yeah, when I've gone through a couple of things that has stressed me out and not been good for my psychological health and has hindered my employment, ultimately leading to me losing a job. So you see how these things, they all have an effect on each other. And then lastly, legal consequences. When we're unable to meet our basic needs, we may resort to illegal activities such as stealing, and that can lead to legal consequences such as arrest and imprisonment. So a lot of times when we see these desperate people, or sometimes maybe we've been desperate ourselves and we've actually compromised our uh, our our freedom. So the decisions people make when their basic needs are not met can have a ripple effect in our lives, affecting our physical and mental health, social connections, economic instability, and legal status. And it's important to address and prioritize meeting these basic needs in order to prevent these negative consequences. But what happens when we do meet our basic needs? What are the positive impacts from meeting our basic needs? Because we don't want to just talk about the negative. We want to talk about what this actually does for us. So it improves our physical and mental health. When we meet our physiological needs, we may experience improved physical and mental health, and we may have more energy, we may sleep better, we may feel more relaxed and content. We have increased productivity and success. When we meet our basic needs, we may have the resources and energy to pursue our goals and aspirations. We may be more productive at work. We may achieve higher levels of success and experience greater financial stability. We also experience stronger relationships. So, when we meet our basic needs, we may have more time and energy to invest in building and maintaining relationships with loved ones. We may experience deeper connections, stronger bonds, and greater intimacy. And we'll experience an increased sense of purpose and meaning. So, when our physiological needs are met, we may have the ability to focus on personal growth, which is what you're doing right now, and pursue our passions and interests. And this can lead to a greater sense of purpose and meaning in life. And overall, we'll just have a greater sense of well being. So, when our basic needs are met, we may experience an overall greater sense of well being and feel happier, more content, and experience a greater sense of satisfaction in our own lives. So, some decisions that we may make when our basic needs are met: pursuing higher education or personal growth. Um, we may then, when we meet our needs, we may have the resources and energy to pursue higher education, um, or personal growth opportunities. We may decide to take classes, attend workshops, or read books to learn new skills and expand our knowledge. Now, the truth is when we're stressed out all about our basic needs, we're not reading books really, because it's almost a luxury to be able to pursue higher education or personal growth. We're not thinking about that when we are so stressed out about, bills or the house or, stuff like that. Pursuing career or entrepreneurial opportunities. When we meet our basic needs, we may have the stability and resources to pursue career or entrepreneurial opportunities. We may decide to start a business, take on new projects, or seek out higher paying jobs. We also may decide to build and maintain relationships. So we have more time and energy to invest in building and maintaining relationships with family, friends, and romantic partners. We may decide to spend more time with loved ones and participate in social activities or volunteer in our communities. We may decide to pursue hobbies and interests. So when we meet when people's basic needs are met, they may have time and resources to pursue hobbies and interests that bring them joy and fulfillment. And God knows we need lots of joy and fulfillment in this short life of ours. It's too short not to have joy and fulfillment. And so, yeah, we may take up new hobbies, travel, or pursue artistic endeavors. And lastly, we decide to give back to others. And this is what I'm doing through the whole big mess. I'm deciding to give back to others. And when we do that, when we meet those basic needs, we're more inclined to give back to others. And sometimes it's to people who are less fortunate, and that can be in a monetary way. We can volunteer our time or participate in charitable activities. So this week we are covering sleep and shelter. So sleep is essential for everyone's health, and especially important for women. Getting enough sleep has been linked to improved cognitive function, better emotional regulation, and a stronger immune system. Sleep is also critical for maintaining healthy hormone levels, which can affect everything from mood to weight management. Understanding the importance of sleep for women's health is the first step towards making meaningful changes to your sleep habits. So, why do we struggle with sleep? There are a lot of reasons, but here I just listed 10. And I'm sure if you've ever struggled with sleep, you can you can identify um, with these struggles. So sleep and anxiety, depression, poor sleeping habits, caffeine or alcohol intake, medications, medical conditions, pain or discomfort, hormonal changes, environmental factors, and shift work or traveling. So 10 facts about brain waves during sleep and their importance for overall health and well-being. Brain waves during sleep, and I've been like really studying brain waves, and I actually go to sleep sometimes with alpha waves on, and that can either you can find alpha waves and it's just electronic music, honestly. Excuse me. And what they do is they can either, sometimes I listen to them when I'm studying because con- um, they provide the brain waves that I need for concentration. And if I'm going to sleep, I'll listen to um, alpha waves that help me relax. So that's something that you can find on YouTube actually. And they really, really do help. And we talked last week about how electricity actually roams through your body and it is essential for brain health as well. So, brain waves during sleep are crucial for memory consolidation, which involves transferring information from short-term memory to long-term memory. So it's like actual process that's happening as we're sleeping. It's like kind of like a mechanical process, if you could imagine that. That's actually transferring our short-term memory to our long-term memory. And REM sleep is particularly important for consolidating emotional memories, whether that's traumatic experiences or positive events, and disruptions in sleep patterns, such as deprivation or insomnia, can impact memory consolidation and lead to cognitive impairment. That's why sleep is so important. It is like we will not be able to function if we're not sleeping right. We won't be able to function at our highest ability. That's for sure. I don't know if you have ever felt when you're at a loss of sleep and maybe it's been a couple days and you feel frustrated and you feel like you're forgetting things. Well, this is why, because these things happen while we're sleeping and we're not sleep if we're not sleeping, we're not allowing these things to happen. And sleep also plays a vital role in emotional regulation, helping to regulate mood, stress, and anxiety levels. Sleep disorders such as sleep apnea and restless leg syndrome can disrupt sleep patterns and lead to chronic fatigue, decreased cognitive function, and an increased risk of developing other health issues. So remember, sleep also affects our immune system. Sleep deprivation can also impact physical health, contributing to a weakened immune system, increased inflammation. We talked about inflammation last week, and a higher risk of chronic diseases such as diabetes and cardiovascular diseases. The quality of sleep is just as important as the quantity, with disrupted or poor quality sleep having similar negative effects on health and well-being. Brain waves during sleep it also help to strengthen neural connections, promoting overall brain function and improving cognitive important performance. And that's why when you do have really good sleep, you can actually function so much better. So, stages of sleep and their function. So, sleep is divided into 4 stages, depending on what study that you do. And they all have their own unique characteristics and function. And during the first stage is a transitional stage between wakefulness and sleep. This is the transition stage from being awake to falling asleep. During this stage, you may feel drowsy and your brain starts to produce theta waves. Your eye movement slows down and your muscle activity starts to decrease. This stage usually lasts only for a few minutes, depending on how, it's if you're laying in bed and you can't and you're suffering from insomnia, obviously you haven't even gotten to stage 1 yet. So stage 2 is light sleep, and this stage is characterized by the presence of sleep spindles and K complexes. During this stage, you're in a light sleep, your brain produces theta waves and occasional burst of faster brain waves called sleep spindles. Your heart rate and breathing also start to slow down, and your body temperature also drops. Stage 3 is deep sleep or slow wave sleep. This is also known as N3 sleep, and it's characterized by the presence of slow, high amplitude delta waves. This is why I listen to these alpha waves at night, guys, because it really does work. And this is what our brain is doing anyway. So it's kind of assisting our brain. This is a deeper stage of sleep where your brain produces slower delta waves. This is when your body starts to repair and regenerate tissues, build bone and muscle, and strengthen your immune system. It's harder to wake up during this stage. And stage 4, deep sleep or slow wave sleep, another is you just a little it's the same as the previous stage, just a little bit deeper. And this stage is also referred to as N3, and it's characterized by the continuation of slow amplitude delta waves. This is the deepest stage of sleep, also known as delta sleep. Your brain produces almost entirely delta waves. It's very difficult to wake up during this stage, and if you do, you might feel groggy or disoriented. Your body is completely relaxed and your muscles are completely inactive. This stage is crucial for restoring your energy and consolidating memories. So you see why sleep is so important. It's literally regenerating your body. After stage 4, the cycle repeats itself and you go back to stage 1. The entire sleep cycle lasts about 90 minutes and you go through it several times a night. So, thoughts and stresses that lead to insomnia, worrying about negative consequences of not getting enough sleep, such as feeling tired, irritable, or unable to concentrate during the day, feeling anxious or stressed out about work, relationships, or other personal issues, racing thoughts, or an inability to quiet the mind at night. That's why I do listen to things that help me quiet my mind. Physical discomfort or pain that makes it difficult to fall asleep or stay asleep. Fear of not being able to fall asleep, which can create a cycle of anxiety and sleeplessness. Feeling frustrated or helpless about our inability to sleep well. Concerns about the long-term effects of chronic insomnia on their health and well-being. Obviously, that could be a factor because our bodies are regenerating. Feeling overwhelmed by the demands of daily life and struggling to find time to relax and unwind. That in our culture, that is huge in our culture. Fearing the fear of sleeping medications or other treatments for insomnia, and a lack of established bedtime routine or sleep schedule, leading to inconsistency in sleep patterns. Now, we've established bedtime routines for children, but we don't establish bedtime routines for ourselves often, and they're really, really important. So, physical effects on the body from chronic insomnia. Daytime, daytime fatigue, which is insufficient sleep, can lead to ongoing feelings of tiredness, sluggishness, and a lack of energy during the day. Impaired cognitive function. Chronic insomnia can affect memory, concentration, attention span, and even decision making abilities. Mental health issues. Chronic insomnia is often associated with an increased risk of developing mental health issues such as anxiety and depression. I don't know if you've ever seen somebody that suffers from mental health issues that have not slept for days. Literally leads them into, it can lead them into psychosis. increased risk of accidents and injuries. Fatigue caused by chronic insomnia can lead to a higher risk of accidents and injuries, particularly in situations that require focus and attention, such as driving or operating heavy machinery. Cardiovascular issues. Chronic insomnia has been linked to an increased risk of heart disease, high blood pressure, and stroke. Compromised immune systems. Chronic insomnia can weaken the immune system, making individuals more susceptible to infections and diseases. And one of the things that I do with my kids when they're sick, I make them sleep. You're not coming out of bed. Like, sleep all you want. Sleep, 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 because sleep is going to help your body regenerate and build your immune system. One of the other things that one of the other physical effects on our body is weight gain. Sleep deprivation can disrupt the body's metabolism and hormones, leading to weight gain and an increased risk of obesity. Increased pain sensitivity. Chronic insomnia has been shown to increase pain sensitivity, making existing pain more intense and difficult to manage. Hormonal imbalances. Sleep deprivation can disrupt the body's hormonal imbalance, leading to a range of issues such as decreased libido, irregular menstrual cycles, and fertility problems. And lastly, premature aging. Chronic insomnia has been linked to premature aging, with individuals experiencing dull skin, wrinkles, and a weakened immune system. So, did you know that there's actually a therapy geared towards chronic insomnia? And it is called cognitive behavioral therapy for insomnia. You can actually reach out to your therapist and say, I want to do CBT-I. And there are therapists that are specifically trained for this. And it involves different strategies, which include sleep restriction therapy. This involves limiting the amount of time you spend in your bed to match the amount of time you actually sleep. Over time, this can help retrain your body to sleep more efficiently. Stimulus control therapy. This involves creating a consistent sleep environment, only using your bed for sleep and sex. This can help your body associate your bed with sleep and reduce the likelihood of lying awake in bed. Cognitive therapy. This involves identifying and changing negative thoughts and beliefs about sleep. For example, if you have a belief that you must get 8 hours of sleep every night to function well, cognitive therapy can help you challenge this belief and develop more realistic expectations. I do not sleep 8 hours straight a night. I cannot sleep more than 5 hours straight. So while we've been told you need 8 hours of sleep, you need 8 hours of sleep, my body does not need 8 hours of sleep. My body can function on 5 hours of sleep, but I do sleep well. Relaxation techniques. This involves learning and practicing relaxation techniques such as progressive muscle relaxation, deep breathing, or guided imagery to help calm your mind and body before bed. And, CBTI has been shown to be highly, highly effective for treating insomnia, with research suggesting it can be as effective as a prescription sleep medication in the short term and more effective in the long term. It can be used in combination with other treatments, such as medication or sleep hygiene practices, to further improve sleep outcomes. So what are some negative thoughts about sleep that's often discovered when you're doing CBTI? Catastrophic thinking about the consequences of not sleeping well, believing that we must have a certain amount of sleep to function well the next day, focusing excessively on sleep and the consequences of not getting enough sleep, believing that one cannot function without sleeping aids or medication, believing that it's impossible to fall back asleep once we're awakened during the night, believing that it takes a long time to fall asleep, feeling anxious or stressed about not being able to fall asleep or stay asleep, believing that insomnia is a permanent and irreversible condition, fearing that the consequences of not sleeping well will negatively affect one's performance at work or other areas of their life, and believing that a lack of sleep will have a catastrophic effect on one's health. So I don't know if you've ever done cognitive behavioral therapy, but a lot of it is challenging where you got these ideas from. So you might be thinking all of these ideas, but it will challenge you. Well, where did you come up with that? And challenge you to change your thinking towards that. So 10 tips from CBTI. Stick to a consistent sleep schedule. Create a relaxing, try to go to bed and wake up at the same time every day, even on weekends, because you're training your body, right? You want to train your body. So you can't just be like, oh, it's the weekend, I'm going to switch up. No, as they say, it takes, 60 days, I believe, to change a habit or to build a habit. And so that's why it's really important. Stick to a sleep consistent schedule so that you can train your body. Create a relaxing bedtime routine. Engage in activities that help you wind down and relax before bed, such as reading, taking a warm bath, or practicing relaxation techniques. Whatever makes you tick, do it. For me, it's tea. It's maybe reading. Maybe it's, there's a couple things for me. Reserve your bed for sleep and sex only. I avoid using your bed for other activities such as watching TV, working, or using your phone or computer. I definitely work from from my bed sometimes. So I'm preaching to myself there. I actually have a desk where I'm probably most effective, but sometimes I will. Sometimes I'll work from my bed. Gotta change that. Limit your caffeine and alcohol intake because consuming alcohol or caffeine in the afternoon and evening can interfere with our sleep quality. Manage your stress. We talked about stress a lot last week. And why it's so important because it can actually compromise our immune system as well. So find healthy ways to manage your stress throughout the day, such as exercise, meditation, or deep breathing. Don't force yourself to sleep. If you are unable to fall asleep after 20 to 30 minutes, get out of bed and engage in a relaxing activity until you fall asleep. I do this all the time, all the time. I'm like, I'm not going to fight with myself. I'm going to get up. I'm going to do something that relaxes me. And eventually I'm going to get tired. Use a sleep diary to track progress. Keep a record of your sleep habits and patterns. And because this will help identify areas for improvement and track progress over time. Challenge negative thoughts about sleep. Identify and challenge those negative thoughts and beliefs, such as I'll never be able to sleep through the night. Challenge that. Gradually adjust your sleep schedule. If you need to adjust your sleep schedule, do so gradually over several days or weeks to allow your body to adjust. So if you're going to, if you don't get into the bed until like midnight, but you're not getting enough sleep and you want to start getting better sleep or more sleep, take it up a half an hour. Take it up a half an hour more the next week. Don't just do this whole huge expectation. Oh, I'm going to go to bed at 9 o'clock. That's not going to happen. It's an unrealistic expectation. Do it gradually. Consider seeking professional help if you continue to have difficulty sleeping. Despite making lifestyle changes, consider seeking professional help from a therapist trained in CBTI. So here we are with our daily affirmations. You can print this out too once I send this over to you. And these are really important, and you need to say these on a daily basis because you have to take power over your thoughts and over what is happening in your body, and you can do that. So these daily affirmations, I want you again, keep saying them every day. So you want better sleep? Let's check out these things that can actually help us create a better sleeping environment. Temperature. So the ideal temperature for sleep is between 60 to 67 degrees Fahrenheit. It's important to keep your bedroom cool to promote restful sleep. I do this, definitely do this. Sometimes I put it down to 62 degrees. I need air moving also. I can't sleep with like still air. I need air moving. Lighting. Your bedroom should be as dark as possible during sleep hours. Two, and this is why, because it promotes the production of melatonin, the hormone that regulates sleep. So when we're sleeping with the light on, it's hindering our sleep. And I know a lot of people, it's really hard for them to adjust to sleeping in the dark, but I cannot sleep with any light on. I will not fall asleep. Noise. The noise, your bedroom should be as quiet as possible during sleep hours. Use earplugs or a white noise machine to block out disruptive noise. I know people that do use earplugs. I cannot use earplugs because I'm a mom and I have a bunch of kids that live at home, and so I would not be able to sleep soundly. I would probably have a little bit of anxiety behind that, not being able to hear what's happening in the house. Comfort. Your mattress, pillows, and bedding should be comfortable and supportive to promote restful sleep. It's important to choose bedding that is appropriate for the temperature in your bedroom. I cannot tell you how important this is. If you are going to spend money on anything, I will tell you to spend money on your bed, spend money on your mattress, spend money on your bedding. Make sure it's fluffy, get the right pillows. Don't go cheap on this because it is literally a lifeline. When your bed, I get in my bed every night and I'm like, oh God, thank you, Lord, for this bed. I love my bed. I love my bed. I love getting in my bed every night. That's how you should feel about your bed. You should love your bed. If you don't love your bed, you got to work on that. If you need to save for a better mattress, I'm telling you, it needs to be a priority in your life. Electronics. Oh, I hate this one. Keep electronic devices out of your bedroom or turn them off during sleep hours. The blue light emitted by these devices can disrupt your natural sleep wake cycle. I hate sleeping with the TV on. I can tell you a lot of people do. They love it. They can't fall asleep without the TV. But that light and that noise and my mind starts racing. I start listening to the story plot of whatever's on. I cannot sleep. There is a TV in my room, but that's just because I have a lot of people living with me, and if I need to retreat and be by myself, I can do that in my own bedroom. Clutter. A cluttered bedroom can cause stress and anxiety, which can make it difficult to fall asleep. Keep your bedroom organized and free of clutter to promote relaxation and restful sleep. I know sometimes this is a hard thing to do because we have so many things, or sometimes we have kids, or, you know, but organize it as best as possible. Keep things in their place so that at least if it's organized, you don't see that clutter because clutter creates anxiety. And lastly, a scent. Aromatherapy with essential oils like lavender can promote relaxation and help you fall asleep more easily. So, there's a saying that goes, cleanliness is next to godliness. It basically means that keeping ourselves and our surroundings clean is important for our overall well being, both physically and spiritually. However, people think it's from the Bible. It's not actually found in any biblical text, but it's believed to have been originated in Jewish and Islamic traditions, where cleanliness is emphasized as a way to maintain physical and spiritual purity. Now, we're going to transition now into our shelter. And one of those things that we're talking about is clutter. So we're going to talk about that. And this phrase, uh, cleanliness is next to godliness, has caught on in different religions and cultures because it promotes the idea that cleanliness is vital. When we're clean, we reduce the chances of getting sick by preventing the spread of bacteria and viruses. It's especially true in our homes, where keeping things clean and hygienic lowers the risk of getting ill. But it's not just about physical health. A clean and organized environment can also have a positive impact on our mental health and emotional well-being. When things are cluttered and messy, it can make us feel stressed and overwhelmed. On the other hand, when our surroundings are clean and tidy, it can reduce anxiety and help us feel more in control. It's a small thing, but it can make a big difference in our mood and our productivity. And there's even a spiritual aspect of it. Having a clean environment can create a sense of inner peace and harmony. It's like it's like finding a connection to the world around us and feeling a greater sense of contentment. So, when you think about it, there's more to cleanliness than just a tidy appearance. It plays a role in our physical health, mental well being, and even in our spiritual outlook. It's so worth paying attention to and making an effort to maintain cleanliness in our lives. And this was one of my huge struggles as an adult. It hasn't been since the last few years that I've been able to get a handle on this. It's a very difficult thing, and a lot of times this comes from other mental health issues, but it is so worth challenging this stronghold. So we talked about how cleanliness benefits our well-being, uh, physical well-being, spiritual well-being, mental well-being, emotional well-being. Emotionally, I love that when we live in a clean and organized space, we feel a sense of accomplishment and pride in our surroundings. And this can actually help boost our self-esteem and improve our overall mood and emotional well-being. So, how cleanliness affects our cognitive functions, believe it or not, it does. So, it reduces stress. A cluttered and disorganized space can, as we said, cause stress and anxiety, while a clean and organized space can promote feelings of calm and relaxation, improve productivity. A clean and organized environment can help improve focus and concentration, leading to an increased productivity and efficiency. Increased creativity. An organized space can help stimulate creativity by reducing distractions and allowing the mind to focus on the task at hand. I tell you what, when I am working on these projects and I have a mess, it really is really hard for me to uh, change my mindset and focus on what I'm working on. Better memory. An organized space can help improve memory and recall by reduced visual and mental clutter. It enhances our mood. A clean and organized space can help improve mood and overall well being by promoting feelings of control and order. When we feel out of control, man, I don't know about you, but I am severely irritable. Reduced fatigue. It can, um, a cluttered and disorganized space can be mentally exhausting, while an organized space can help reduce mental fatigue. Mental fatigue does affect our physical fatigue. Do you ever feel like you ever looked at the overwhelming pile, right? And you just get tired and you just lay down instead of tackling that pile? Yeah, because it affects um, our mental fatigue, which then affects our physical fatigue. Improved sleep. A clean and organized bedroom can promote better sleep by reducing distractions and creating a calm and relaxing atmosphere. So, if you are experiencing some sleep trouble and you have your bedroom is a disorganized space, you might want to organize that and see how that does affect your sleep. I know I did that for myself. It definitely had a positive effect on my sleep. It reduces anxiety because a cluttered and disorganized space can be overwhelming and lead to feelings of anxiety, while an organized space can promote a sense of calm and control. Improved decision making. An organized space can help improve decision making by reducing distractions and allowing the mind to focus on the task at hand. Reduced procrastination. While an organized space can help reduce procrastination by making tasks and responsibilities more manageable and approachable. So, what are some mental frameworks that prevent us from being organized? So, perfectionism. Number one, perfectionism. Some people may avoid cleaning or organizing because they feel that it has to be done perfectly or not at all. Remember that all or nothing that we talked about last week, which can be overwhelming and demotivating. All or nothing. Procrastination. Some people may put off cleaning or organizing tasks until the last minute, leading to a cluttered and disorganized space. Overwhelm. Some people may feel overwhelmed by the amount of cleaning or organizing tasks that need to be done, leading to avoidance and inaction. A lack of motivation. Some people may simply lack the motivation to clean or organize their space, which can be due to factors such as depression, anxiety, or other mental health issues. You guys see how this all plays into each other? Um, Disorganization as a habit. So for some people, disorganization may be a habit that has been that has been developed over time, making it difficult to change. If you grew up in a house where it was very unorganized, you may still struggle with that as an adult because this is now your way of life. Attachment to possession. A lot of times, some people may struggle to get rid of items or clutter due to sentimental attachments or fear of letting go. I know some people that have struggled with hoarding. And a lot of times that comes from not having a lot as a child. So they find it difficult to get rid of things because they didn't have a lot as a child. That's a framework that needs to be challenged because it's not healthy for you. Lack of knowledge or skills. So some people may just not know how to effectively clean or organize their space, leading to confusion and frustration. And there is no shame in that. There's absolutely no shame in that. There's shame in we look at ourselves with shame and we get embarrassed and we don't want to share that. So we don't ask for help. But challenge those frameworks. We have to challenge them. They cannot overcome us. We have to challenge. We have the power to challenge those frameworks. And number one, identify negative self talk. Start paying attention to the way you talk to yourself about cleaning and organizing. Recognize negative thoughts like, I can't do this. It's too overwhelming, or I'm too lazy. You have to challenge those thoughts. Replace negative self talk with positive affirmation, such as, I can do this, I am capable, or I am making progress. And start small. Break it down into small tasks, manageable steps. Focus on one task at a time and celebrate each small accomplishment. Don't try to clean your whole house in one day if it's an entire wreck. If it's that bad, choose one corner. Choose one corner. Organize that one corner. Make a plan. Create a plan for how you will clean and organize your space. Start with the most important areas first and prioritize tasks. You need to eat, so start in the kitchen. Or you need to sleep, so start in your bedroom. I would say those are the two most important spaces in your house, your bedroom and your kitchen. Set realistic goals. Be realistic about what you can accomplish in a given amount of time. Set small, achievable goals to build momentum. And practice mindfulness. Be present in the moment when you're cleaning and organizing. Focus on the task at hand and try not to get distracted by other thoughts. Challenge that. When you're thinking, oh, did I pay that bill? And it takes you away from what you're doing. I can deal with that later. I am not going to get distracted. Um, get support. Okay. Reach out to your friends, to your family, or a professional organizer for support and accountability. Again, there's no shame in that. Stay motivated. Find ways to stay motivated and inspired, such as listening to music, setting a timer, or rewarding yourself for a job well done. I listen to salsa while I'm cleaning a lot of times because it motivates me. Um, embrace imperfection. So don't strive for perfection in cleaning and organizing efforts. Accept that there will be messes and setbacks along the way. And I got to tell you, my house is a mess right now because this week has been incredibly crazy busy. I have been working so hard all week. I worked out in my yard, and you know, I have so many trees and we had to reset everything. So I was working a lot on the outside of the house, and then I was working a lot in my businesses and on this presentation tonight. And this week has just been crazy. So I gave myself grace because there are going to be times where it's going to be a little messy. And tomorrow, when things slow down, I can't wait to get to it. I'm not going to beat myself up though, because my house got a little messy this week. So practice self compassion. Be kind to yourself. Don't beat yourself up. If you fall behind or make mistakes, remember that cleaning and organizing is a process, and it's okay to take it one step at a time. So 10 organization and cleanliness tips. Again, start small. Don't try to tackle everything at once. Start with one small area and work your way up. Create a schedule. Set aside a specific time every day or each or whatever day you want to work on it to work on organizing and cleaning. Make it part of your routine. Break tasks into smaller steps. Instead of trying to clean and organize a whole room at once, break it down into smaller tasks such as decluttering, dusting, and vacuuming. Use labels and containers. Labeling items and using containers can help keep things organized and make it easier to find what you need. Donate or discard unused items. Get rid of things you don't use anymore, because this can free up space and make it easier to help keep things organized. I do this often. I do this. I purge often. I even make my son purge his clothes often. If I don't use it, I used to be one that held on to everything, because again, I was one that grew up without anything, much of anything. So as an adult, I held on to everything, and I've been able to challenge that framework. And I'm like, how long ago did I use this? If I have not used this in the last 6 months, I'm not going to use it. Besides, whether it's a winter or summer item, it's a seasonal item. But if it's an everyday item, I'm not using it. I haven't used it for 6 months. Get rid of it. Make use of storage space. So use drawers, shelves, and closets to store items in a neat and organized manner. Develop good habits. Put things back in their proper place after using them, and clean up messes as they occur to prevent them from becoming bigger problems. I fight with this with my kids all the time. I'm like, you literally just took that and set it on the counter instead of putting it back where it belongs. Or clean up as you cook. I used to, oh my gosh, I was notorious for this. I would not clean as I cooked, and I just did not. I just had a huge mess by the time dinner was over, and I didn't want to clean anything. So there it stayed. Um, Again, get help if needed. So if organization and cleanliness are particularly challenging for you, consider enlisting the help of a professional organizer or therapist to develop strategies to make it easier. And practice mindfulness. When cleaning and organizing, focus on the task at hand and try to be present in the moment. This can help reduce feelings of overwhelm and increase motivation. Again, um, I can't be thinking about all the million things I got to do. I know I'm going to get to those things. I'm going to give myself grace. I'm not going to put that pressure on myself. I'm going to be present. This needs to be done right now. I have 20 minutes to dedicate to this. Even if you have to break your blocks down into 20 minutes. The thing is that a lot of times when we have this mindset of, I got to clean this whole house. I'm going to spend the whole day cleaning. I got to spend the whole day cleaning. That's overwhelming. So if we just say, I'm going to take 20 minutes and knock out this in 20 minutes, that's a more healthier way and approachable way. And celebrate your progress, whatever progress that might be. You have to celebrate it. Acknowledge and celebrate your small successes along the way. This helps keep you motivated to continue making progress. And for our cleanliness this week, this is our affirmation. Print this out. If you struggle in this area, print this out and put this on your fridge. I am capable of creating a clean and organized space. This will bring me peace and improve my well being. I will take it one step at a time and celebrate my progress. And so, what I've done is I've created some practical tips for cleaning different areas in your house. And all I have, there's no shame. Again, sometimes we don't even know how to approach this, right? We don't really understand what to do. It can be so overwhelming. I am ADHD, So cleaning was very, very overwhelming to me. And I was very, very disorganized and very messy. And if you could see my floor, it was a miracle. So, again, yes, this may sound like very, very practical, but again, because sometimes we need these practical tips. So, practical tips for cleaning your kitchen. Again, start with a plan. Clean the countertops, empty the sink, wipe down surfaces, clean appliances, sweep and mop the floors, dispose of any expired food, organize your pantry and cabinets. Now, don't get overwhelmed by this because I'm going to take you somewhere. So, I know this is a lot of things on this list, but wait. Again, practical tips for cleaning your bedroom. Again, start with a plan. Declutter first. Dust surfaces, vacuum the floor, change your sheets, clean your mattress, clean your windows and mirrors. These are just practical tips for cleaning your bedroom. Practical tips for cleaning your bathroom. Start with the toilet. Clean the sink and countertops. Clean the shower and bathtub. Scrub the tiles. Clean the mirrors. Wipe down the surfaces. Again, just practical tips. Practical tips for cleaning your common areas. Declutter first. Develop a cleaning routine. Use the right tools. I tell you what, for years I had wooden floors and did not have a Swiffer. Insane. That was so stupid of me. I swear by that Swiffer. I swear by it. I get the really thick one, the really cotton thick one. Man, it picks up all the dust and dander. And I have a dog, so there's tons of dog hair in my house. Clean from top to bottom. Focus on high touch areas, like door handles, light switches. These are things that we forget that we have to clean. And by the time we look at the light switch, we're like, oh my God, that's disgusting. And they harbor germs and bacteria. So again, these are just simple tips, practical tips. And what I have done for you with these practical tips to help you being not feel so overwhelmed about cleanliness is we've created a schedule. If you take one thing from that list every day, and I did not put Sundays because Sundays should be a rest day. You can choose your rest day to be Saturday. You can choose your rest day to be Monday, whatever day you choose. You can choose one thing from each room, one thing, and take an hour, maybe. If you have 2 hours, cool. But take an hour. We have an hour a day. We do. And just take one thing from each of those lists and plug it in. And this will help you refocus on maintaining a clean home. And by the time the week ends, most of the things are done. And you don't feel like you extended yourself too much. It's very simple. Very simple. This is an excellent chart. You can change it, you can plug it in however you want, but I really feel like anybody that struggles with cleanliness or organization, this might actually be a great tool for you. And if you can use it on a larger scale, if you have long-term projects, if you have organization projects that you need to purge or you need to get rid of things, or maybe if you're a hoarder, then you can plug in different areas that you want to tackle, whether it's okay, maybe I need to deal with mail, maybe I need to deal with magazines, maybe I need to deal with clothes. You can make your own practical list and plug one thing in each day. I think this is a huge resource. So that's all I have tonight. I hope that it was very useful and helpful to you. I don't know if anybody has any questions. If you don't have any questions, we can close out the night. And I hope this is a huge resource. I'm going to be sending this out to you guys again, just like last week, sending you the recording so you can review it again. But I tell you, this is I myself struggled, really struggled with cleanliness and organization, and but it's something that it can change. It can change. Listen, when I call this the whole big mess, I call it the whole big mess for a reason, because I literally, my whole entire life was a whole big mess. So if I could do it, anybody could do it. So thank you guys for joining us tonight, and I'll see
Can I
you
ask a
next week.
question?
Yeah, sure.
Are you going to include the handouts for this or the slide?
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to send you the slides and as well as the recording.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Of course. Have a good night, ladies. Talk to you soon. Bye.